All right. Who's got some questions? I really don't have a whole lot to say. Unless you guys got questions.
Just injury situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was going to start. I knew it was going to be the first question. Jake Long is going to have surgery, which he was, he shoulder. Maybe could have practiced them, but we're talking about red shirt, so let's just go ahead and do it so he'll be ready for next year. He'll be ready for spring. If we do it now, he'll be able to go do spring ball. So he's out. Obviously, Fields and Pegues are out doing what they need to be doing. Martell Petaway got hit on the knee. It's clean. He'll be out for a couple of days. Wesco's got hit on the knee. Non-surgical. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. Other than that, Eli, high ankle sprain, he'll be fine. Ricky Rogers, hamstring, he'll be fine. That's it. So nothing serious. All camp stuff.
Your number 2 quarterbacks or number 3, how are they looking right now?
They're all looking okay. We'll bring something to the table that the other guys don't do, which is between the tackles running quarterback. Chugs probably has the best arm of everybody, so we know that about those guys, and that's not changed. What song was that?
It's pre-programmed.
Not favorite song.
Yeah. Pure Android.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought it had kind of an old school country. They got to keep playing. They got to keep playing. We got an experienced guy with Skyler that's running it okay. Just gotta keep playing. We put him in a couple of live situations. What's today? Today's Tuesday, right? So Saturday and Sunday we had our first live situations, and it was pretty competitive, back and forth, offense, defense. So all the quarterbacks went in and had some success a little bit, and then didn't have some success, which is what you're looking for in camp is to have a team that goes back and forth and battles against them. So they're 1, 2, 3, and obviously Skyler's got the nod right now, but the other 2 guys haven't established themselves as the solid number 2 yet. It's between them 2, though.
What did you ask Skyler to improve on this camp? What did you see from him?
Yeah, we're protecting him more than we did last year. We got a different colored jersey on him. I think what he brings to the table is grit and toughness. If he's sputtering a little bit, the first thing I'm going to do is get him hit, because that typically gets him in the right frame of mind. So I know where we're at with that. It's simply just consistency in the passing game more than anything. It's no secret. We got big play potential. We can run the football, and we got big play potential. You all saw that last year. It's the intermediate stuff that's got to improve, which we're working hard on, and I think it's improving. And critical downs, being able to make plays in tight space. Our defense does a really good job in third down. They did last year, one of the tops in the country because of what they do. So it puts pressure on us to be able to make plays in tight spaces. So make plays when it counts, and just consistency in the passing game.
How much do you value versatility for your guys? The numbers being the way they are, and you've got players that are maybe interchangeable. Do you value that a lot as a coach?
In recruiting, we do.
Yeah.
So you can't get good at doing a whole bunch of different things. So in order to be great, you got to get them settled in on something. So in recruiting, you want versatility. You want to be able to recruit guys that can play multiple positions. I have, in the 20-some years I've been doing it, I haven't had success having guys doing multiple things and being great at it. You got to kind of lock in on something and be great at it. So you want those kind of athletes, you want those kind of bodies, and you want to be able to have choices when it comes to where they end up playing. But once they settle in on something, there's only one way to get great at it.
But if you have, like, say, a one-dimensional edge rusher, that doesn't necessarily fit with the way the defense is schemed, the way that you do things. So in that regard, having somebody that's versatile is helpful. Correct?
Rare. They're rare.
Yeah.
Those guys are rare. We've had one Bruce Irvin here.
Yeah.
You know, that wasn't an every down player, but was a first round draft pick. So those guys are rare. You know, so I would prefer to have the scheme we have, you know, than have a scheme that highlights that guy all the time and have guys out there that can't get the job done.
You still liking what Javon's doing on the inside?
Mm-hmm. He's our fastest receiver. He's playing fast. The trick with inside, moving guys inside, is being able to continue to play fast like that. So, you know, I'm happy with his progress. And you know, like Akil, if you really pay attention with what we do with Akil, he's the purest inside receiver that we got. He's the guy that's always closest to the ball. When we go into heavier sets, he's still the closest receiver to the ball. So he'll widen out because he's like our best goal line guy. You know, caught 2 fades on the goal line against Arizona State. He's our best goal line guy. Karan is giving him a run for his money right now. And Javon, you know, it can be an inside receiver. It can be a middle slot receiver. But then when we get heavy, he can still be an outside guy. You know, so happy with his progress. It's new to him. It's new to him. You know, last year we had him at Z, which was always over there. So now he's moving around, so it's a little new to him. So he's still got a lot of work to do, but he's making some plays out there. He is doing that.
Daniel, with Shelton, you know he can go deep, obviously. A guy with that kind of speed is a challenge now, getting him to branch out and not fall back on that every time, but just run a go route. I mean, like, what's the next step for him?
Yeah, the intermediate stuff. You know, the curls and the comebacks and the slants. You know, stuff where he's got to attack the ball this way. We know he can attack the ball that way, but he's got to attack the ball this way. You know, and Coach Kerr's drilling him hard. So I see improvement with that. I mean, he had too many drives. He kid him all the time. He should have easily been a 1,000-yard receiver last year. You know, with his big play potential, getting downfield, he can get chunks of yards. But you know, in order to be a 1,000-yard guy and a real dude, you got to be able to make those tough catches when you're covered, when the ball's coming at you. So he knows he's got a lot of work to do. But his work ethic is great, and like his progression.
How much have you gotten to work with Will Greer?
Not a bunch. I mean, he just, you know, he's an intelligent kid. He's a coach's kid. You know, he really helps us with the drills. You know, you need 4 or 5 arms to be able to. I mean, you know, Skylar's sore, Chugs is sore because they're throwing so much. You know, so you know, we rested Skylar a little bit yesterday with the amount of throws, but we still got to put the ball in the air. So he's good with that. You know, Cody's good with that. Those guys are going to redshirt. You know, so they're in every meeting. They pay attention. They take notes. They soak it all in. They're out at practice with the scripts, and a lot of times they're just standing there looking at me and then seeing the call, checking signals, doing stuff in their heads, taking a lot of mental reps. You know, I'm pleased with their, you know, how you know, their attention to what we're doing. It's just not their time right now.
Greer will give you some really good looks this year, right?
It probably depends on you know what the opposing quarterback is. Cody's pretty athletic, so if we're playing Texas Tech, it's probably going to be Cody running around trying to make plays and all that. If it's more of a pocket guy, you know, smart, taller pocket guy, then we may use Wilson. But you know, I'll probably rotate them so they can continue to be in the quarterback room and get a good feel for how we game plan, you know, present the game plan, let them soak it in, see how it unravels, see how I call it on game day. And there's a lot more value in that than going to scout teams so you can play football. So we need a good combination of both. Whatever the defense needs, though, we'll make sure that they get from that position.
Coach Schuyler talked to us last week about his note-taking habits and how he studies the game. How does he match up with some of the other quarterbacks that you've coached him as far as being a student of the game?
Yeah, you see him writing stuff all the time. That's good. I mean, I encourage that. That's the way I am. I take notes on everything. So it's a good habit to get in. It's what good students do. It's what good players do. Obviously, players are students of the game and all that. So the more notes you take, it's easier to remember that. There's all kinds of evidence out there with that. So guys that don't do that are probably not quite as motivated to be able to learn as much as they want to.
And the receivers, is Javon definitely an inside guy now, or is he going to maybe do both? Like it sounds like Jennings is doing, or are you trying to continue to just like guys that either inside or outside, or one outside or one inside?
Yeah, I got to settle him in. I think he's going to end up in our top 4 guys. So, what our philosophy on the whole thing is to get them kind of like we've already talked about, just get them settled in on being very comfortable with doing one thing. There's so much timing that goes on with where those guys are and the quarterback expecting them to be in a specific place. You say it's easy, run a fade route, throw it out there and let the guy go get it. There's such a timing element to that. Running big routes on, getting familiar with when they sit things down and when they go fast, shallow routes, crossing routes. I mean, there's a lot of timing aspects to it where you can't just plug a guy in. I can assure you watching Javon run a dig and DeKeel run a dig is 2 different things. So the quarterback has to understand that and be able to have a lot of familiarity with what the timing aspect of it is. So he can play any of the 4 positions we have. Get him settled in. Get good at it. That's what we got to do. But with that said, like I talked about with what DeKeel does, there's going to be a time when we get in heavier sets, we're going to want our best guys out there that can go deep.
Your younger receivers, Smothers and Sims, where are they at? Are they somewhere in the rotation, you think, or where you thought?
Sims is way closer based on spring. He was here all spring, so he's in a position where he's going to probably be a contributor at some point. Does a good job in the return game. Can stretch the field. Still learning. Not prepared to say either one of them are in the top 8. But Sims is a lot closer to us being able to count on him to be a contributor than Stephen at this point.
At this point in camp, is your number one thing seeing who's holding up, who's getting through that, who can and who's not?
There's an element to it. Guys that can't hold up just got to go on the shelf. I mean, there's nothing you can do. That's not my decision. That's more, Dave Kearns and our medical staff and all that. They got to make decisions on who's out there. I don't make those decisions. Guys that are established, like like DeKeel and Draymond, Orlowski, Noble, those type guys. I mean, those guys, we pretty much know what they can do. We got to get them in shape. You got to get in game shape. The only way you can get in game shape is to get out there and practice and fight through it and train your bodies to be able to handle that stuff for 2-3 weeks. But not overdo it, to the point where we wear them out and get them hurt. So there's a good, we do a great job around here, athletic training and Coach Joseph and the strength and conditioning with recovery. Every morning they're down there recovering. We're eating good. We've got lots of liquids. We got lots of stretching and all that good stuff. So there's a recovery aspect to it, to where we're not overdoing it. They need to get out there in the afternoon. They got to push through things so where their bodies can get in shape to be able to handle the long-term aspects of the season.
With widening the line, or widening the pocket, I understand the pass protection stuff, but it's what you guys like to do, running the quarterback, or even inside the quarterback on the see some of his runs. How much of that?
It helped the draw game. You know, you know, we've run a good bit of draws with wider pockets and a better pocket. You know, when they're not heating us up. When they're heating us up, that pocket does this. The ball's got to come out quick. When they don't heat us up, the pocket can widen and they can drop. And it's hard to find windows sometimes. You know, when they're dropping like that. So with wide lanes, you can run that quarterback up in there a good bit.
You haven't talked much about Crest playing like a slash role like you did at times last year. Still in the possibility stage. What are your thoughts there?
And not needed as much right now. You know, it goes back. He love the kid to death. He wants to play so bad, and he's so eager. And whatever you want me to do, wonderful teammate. You know, just a kid that you want to coach. It goes back to what we said. If you got enough guys to where you can get them to specialize in things, that's the only way you get great. You know, we're tired of being good on offense, and we've been good on offense. You know, for the last year. If you want to get great on offense, then you got to get guys that settle in and specialize at something and just get great at that. So, you know, he's playing a lot more quarterback than he is running back or receiver. You know, as good of a kid he is, that guy that can do that is extremely rare. He's not that guy.
So by focusing on quarterback, have you seen improvement? Especially accuracy seems to be at times a problem.
We're getting better. We're getting better. I wish I could anoint him the next Heisman Trophy guy. He's young. He's got 3 years to play. We'll see where he continues to go. He's taking a bunch of reps. You know, so we'll see if he can get better.
Okay, thanks, Coach.